since independence we have not shied away from it. But when you look on paper, although there is one party that has used the states to develop social programs for their people, and you can argue that some of those social programs create a sense of dependency, one party has historically, it's on record, and I tell you, I'm an economic ideologue, one party over the other has historically grown the Jamaican economy than the other. And I came to the firm view that that's a party I would align my economic beliefs to. Because you hear when I say, people, when I looked at the history coming from universal adult suffrage all the way through the party that is on record, you can go in at chat GPT's, chat AI, the party that has historically, okay, JLP not grow no economy, all right then. Well, you can go and research it for yourself.
Don't get distracted. Just finish up your point and let me add somebody else, because you're going to, you know.
So that is my
all right.
perspective.
So let me respond to you on a few things.
No, wait. I want to say, because I am not a, what we call the word. The word is in my head. We use it. I use it a lot. I am not, my friends who know me, because Perry, my friends can tell you, most of my friends are on the PNP side. And in college, we used to sit under the tree and have good conversations. Yeah? I told you I am a social conservative, but I also give credit where credit is due to parties. The same way I do in the UK, the Labour Party or the Conservative Party. I would never come up here and say the PNP has not done anything good for Jamaica. Yeah? Nobody will ever hear me make that comment. I say again, I choose one party because I look and believe that they are better than the other one. Yeah? So it is same way unfair for anybody to come up and say the JLP artists have never done anything good for Jamaica. Yeah? That is just blind loyalty. Yeah? Yeah.
All right, Dr. Russell, as usual, thank you for your contributions. I do have a few things to say, though, and I'm going to be adding Comrade. Does somebody say they have a burning question for you? But before I do that, I have to respond in my capacity as the host. And guys, remember, this is a very objective platform. I want to provide a space where persons can have respectful discourse. And Dr. Russell and I, we're Christians. We have different beliefs when it comes to politics in terms of party support, but we're good. So don't misinterpret the life. But a few things on Manley's, contributions to land ownership. There's a few things to put in context. The land reform and redistribution. One of the things that I read was that the goal was to address the historical landlessness of many rural Jamaicans, right? Particularly the descendants of former slaves who had been denied access to land after emancipation. You know, Russell, that after emancipation, although black persons were free, they were left without no sense of owning anything, right? So one of the things that Manley was trying to address, or one of the things that he addressed for the most part, was through the land tenure reform program. So I wouldn't say he just gave away land to persons and caused them to squat on it. No, it was a particular program which was to give people the power to own land. And this happened.
You're so right, Perry, but the program was not done. The same way the PNP said the bus not done properly. The land program, because I grew up in it, my mom was a PNP. The land program in many parts were not done properly. They were not given titles. They were just told. Some of them were the PNP built a small house for them. Some of them were told to go and build. They were not given titles. They were not given running water, toilets or anything. That's just the truth of it.
So you,
but the land program by the PNP in perspective by Michael Manley was a noble idea. Like many things that Manley tried to do was a noble idea. Yeah? But the land, so if you give somebody a land and you don't give them title, it's not theirs. Somebody can come and claim it and say this land is mine and kick you off.
So you're of the belief that during that time, absolutely nobody who were given lands under Michael Manley's administration, they had no title to none of the land?
No, I never say that. I remember I told you I speak from my experience experience from my neighboring county, my area where I grew up, all my community, the neighboring community, Riverton, the other neighboring community, they all were just on the land. They, up to this day, they don't have a title for the land.
Because that's not, based on your experience, I have to respect your experience, but based on some research that I've done prior to the conversation, I am quite aware that persons had titles for some of the lands that were given to them. And it was descending from the sugar estates. Primarily persons who would have worked on these plantations for a number of years. A lot of them were born in slavery. Through the, who is that? Hold on, Dr. Russell. Hold on. I'm doing something. Go back outside. Yeah. So based on the program, Dr. Russell, some persons did. I'm not saying that there may have not been inconsistencies with many of the programs promoted by both political parties. But as I said, based on your experience, because other persons could come up here and they will argue and say that they know persons who receive titles, but we don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Ladies and gentlemen, based on research, persons did receive titles, and I believe it was a good initiative to empower black people, to empower Jamaican citizens to get into the habit of owning land, you know, getting into the habit of doing what they believe is fitting for that land, whether it's to build a business, whether it's to build a home. And I think just as any policy that is rolled out by any government or any administration, there's always room for improvement. So I hear you, Dr. Russell, and I think...
But what also happened there, sir, as a byproduct of those things, we know that those places historically created, that's how they came out, especially in the Kingston metropolitan area, they created large pockets of PNP ghettos. And you could flip it and say, yes, the JLP could have done that and created, but that's what I'm showing you. The byproduct of those things did not lift the people up. It did not lift up the people. It created poor ghettos of one political party, where up to today, the people are still living poverty in those areas. So what was the purpose?
Perry,
what was the aim of that?
I'm going to reach up by the next 10 minutes and come back, join back. Here?
Alright, blessings. So let me...
Please, I want to ask.
Oh God, him cut off. Any other JLP supporters? Dr. Russell is here. I'm inviting other persons to come and tell me why you support the JLP. This is coming out of the fact that this week we saw a lovely ceremony, the swearing of the Prime Minister, his administration, the opposition, their MPs. It's still a conversation we can have.
Perry.
Yes.
Question. Can you tell me the byproduct, the end result, because we can look at all those areas, even in Kingston, the end result of those land that was given to those people, no middle class community came out of it. They are still ghetto pockets area of low morale, low attainment. They are trapped in permanent poverty.
I wouldn't say permanent poverty. Here, I think this is more of a philosophical conversation. No, if my intention, Dr. Russell, if I give you $5,000 and I say to you, Dr. Russell, this $5,000 is to make your life better, it is now up to you to use that $5,000 wisely. I wouldn't blame Michael Manley nor even the PNP for people who are comfortable in sitting in ghettos. If I gave you the opportunity to own a land, it is the onus is on you to get up now and do what is right to ensure that you uplift yourself out.
But that's what I'm telling you. That's what government does. It created a pockets areas of mass and gross dependency. Look at a place like Bapto. Bapto has developed into a place of political, what parties here, a dependency, trapped in poverty. The same black people that we were intended to give the land. They're black, but they are still poor and trapped in absolute poverty.
Both, well, somebody said it in the comment and you agree. I believe ghettos are found on both sides of the coin. My thing though, Dr. Russell, is a more macro perspective. I think the Caribbean region is a dependent region. You know that we're a dependent state. We depend a lot on our first world countries. So I don't think it's necessarily as a result of PNP or even JLP. I think the broader issue or concern is that the Caribbean region continues to shoot ourselves in the foot by being dependent on our first world countries. For example, we import more than how we even export. We buy foreign goods. We take all of these multinational corporations such as the Burger Kings, the KFC, and we kick the local restaurant and the local cook shop aside because we have been Europeanized, if that is even a word. Dr. Russell, correct me if I'm wrong. We are so European in our thinking. So I don't think it's a PNP issue. I think it's a
no, what you're talking here is globalization. We are a big, small territories will suffer because of globalization, but globalization is inevitable. We can't be protectionist states. We are a small nation. We have to compete against the big global players. You know, we can't shut off ourselves to the global market.
Not saying we should shut them off indefinitely, definitely not. Yes, we're a global community. The world is coming together closely and closer. I'm saying, I think the Caribbean region, and even believe Mia Motley in one of her speeches said the very same thing. The Caribbean must reach a certain place of independence, Dr. Russell, and I know you can agree, based on your stance as it relates to Africanness and all of that. When we reach a place as a Caribbean region where we can say, listen, we will import so much and no more, but across the region, we have put ourselves in a dependency state, and we have been like this for a long time.
So here is my model of community building. And what I was saying here, yes, you say both parties, but I said this model, this ideology began in the inception by the PNP. It's recorded. This model, this ideology, here's my concept. You build a community, you build social housing. So in the UK, when they're building a house, when they're building homes, Perry, say they build 200 homes. They build 200 homes and then they allocate 50 for the very poor. Because if everybody poor live together, it becomes a ghetto. If poor live amongst other everybody else, it's always proven. If you have a school with 100% of lower literacy children, it won't rise. If you have a school with kids who are really high literacy, they will pull the others up. So you create a community, you build a community where other people live, and then you provide the services in here. So you have a basic school, you have a primary school, you have a clinic, you have essential services. You don't just have a piece of land and everybody, this one you build a 1 bedroom, the one you build a zinc house, the one you build a tenement yard. It creates a symptom that we have had in Jamaica that is still here with us, that seem not to be going away. This whole idea of unplanned informal settlements where everybody have the same mindset, the same values, live together, no one is uplifting anyone. Me grew up in it and me have to fight to uplift myself, and all of my brethren them sit down on the wall and rub them middle hand. You understand me? And when me come out good, them say, boy, respect, respect for that, respect. Because we all live in the same mindset that politics have created, and we call it progress. Yeah? And that has to change if we are building communities. We have land, Because land reformation is something that needs to happen right now, you know. But we can't do chaka chaka.
All
You
right.
can't say, okay, 50 people go build a house. That's one build a zinc house. That one build a son, no pipe, no running water, no daycare, no school, no this. Come on, man. We are black people. We're not animals.
All right.
Hello.
Thank you, Dr. Russell. Neil, why
good
do
night.
you support JLP?
All right. Why me support JPC? Well, and since now was the first time I vote in this election. Was the first time I vote because my grandmother tell me say politics and Christianity support divide people. But anyway, they convince me. Before they convince me, I'm a vote JLP for the first time. But why me vote JLP? Because when me look and say, me say people who have the background have some have record now. The background have some wrong street. So like Butch Bantan, ISAT, all of these people, right? They have some criminal background, and them choose to join the PMP. So me as figure say them people they wrongs them when they have criminal background, they must say you're welcome to them party, right? If you look on ISAT, all of them,
What?
right? They must say, yeah man.
What are you saying?
ISAT, they did the drugs, they did got prison for drugs, you know.
All right. So Neil, I am affiliated with the PMP. Do I have a criminal background?
No. Well, we didn't do it that way, eh? But
I'm telling you I don't. I'm telling you that I don't. That doesn't make any sense.
No, but listen this. But they can't say I lie, Matthew, because when you put Butch Bantan, right? You have a criminal background, don't it? Cartel again have criminal background, and they welcome them people there.
Do you believe in second chances?
Huh?
Do you believe in second chances?
Not everything, because if you kill a man, you know before, and you conscious before when you kill a man, right? You conscious know what where do, because you not walk out in one truck. Cause you know before, say if you walk in a truck, you say you're dead. You not jump in the sea because you can't swim, right? Me live a poor well now, and me can't swim, right? And me also going to the sea, we born for John. So they know before, say what do I do? So me not believe now when a kill a man, kill an innocent man, you forget the second chance. Me not believe in that, brethren.
So do you believe if politicians are suspected of corruption, should they get second chances?
Yes, because he don't take a life. And life, I say, God, listen now. God could find nothing else to give to mankind and give them the gift of life. Life, nobody wanted, no. Nobody wanted, right? And God give the gift of life to mankind. If you ever take that to say, take that life from mankind. Me not believe say you fit take a fair one.
So one sin is bigger than the other.
The Bible said, remember say no. When tell Moses to go up on the mountain top.
One sin is bigger than the other.
May I answer you? May I answer your question? May I answer you? Remember when Moses say they go up on the mountain top, right? And he come down with the 10 commandments, them. He come see the people them worship the idol, whatever he want be, the animal, the cow or whatever, right? And he said to them, say, you have sinned a great sin against God. The word great mean, Moses say, you sin against God. Are you done? But them using the word great. So why use the word great? Answer the question there.
How many times, Neil, how many times should you forgive your brother according to the Bible?
Every time 70, but not for murder. You can't kill an innocent man. That's it there.
Perry.
You can't kill an innocent man.
Neil. Perry.
You can't kill an innocent man, Richard. You cannot kill an innocent man. Right?
So who
yes?
did Isaac unalive? Who did Isaac
Perry,
unalive?
hold on, Perry. The only
Exactly.
argument that I would bring for Neil is that all the entertainers who support the PNP, they have all been honored under the JLP. They have never received recognition under the party they support, and that's a fact. All the entertainers.
What do you mean by they
Come on, man, Perry. All of them
never received recognition.
All of them get them OD, them OC, them BB. All of them get them recognition under the Andrew Holness, not the party they support.
Which is good. So why is Neil making it seem as if these persons are the worst of the worst when your party who you support honors them? It's contradictory in my opinion.
Alright, I don't care what. But you say, if the PNP accept people with shade background, right? Cartel, when Rasta one day, right? ASAT, more them, so me can't remember off the top of my head, right? With shade background, virgin, right? And me can't say, oh, you a man go do wrong, and then you go take him in a party and put him in the, man, me not depend that, virgin.
So you support Dr. Andrew Wheatley getting a second chance?
I know man him kill. He never kill nobody. He never kill nobody.
Who on the PNP side kill anybody?
Listen me. When you take drugs, take drugs, right, and give to people.
I'm asking you, who on the PNP side killed anybody?
People take the drugs and go damage themselves, and them destroy them life.
I'm asking you, who on the PNP side unalived anybody? You said that you're hammering the point of murder. I'm asking you, who supported the PNP now unalived anybody?
Me not call a name, cause you know the one with that friend.
No, who?
Perry, me the one here, you know, don't make the argument. Don't make the
cartel. The man be on stage. Maybe pan say and say, Peter Bunting say, right? Peter Bunting say, right? Him killing innocent people. The same, the security minister, Peter Bunting, right? And him have cut up on stage.
And that's why you support JLP?
I support,
That's your main reason for supporting JLP.
And JPC give the poor people of this country benefit, them shares, them sell shares to the Jamaica people, them, right? Enough good things, right? Enough good things. JPS shares, right? If it was JP, them let's sell to the Jamaica people, them, the poor Jamaica people, them, right?
Neil, I'm trying to. First of all, you have to better you say allegedly, because I don't know if a man walking away free from a court case is proof that he unalived anybody. I'll be very careful if I were you. I don't know of Vybz Kartel unaliving anybody. I don't have proof of that. Do you have proof of that?
Well, the Minister of Security said that.
So you're retracting your statement about Vybz Kartel, right?
Yes, we can retract it, but he's Peter Bunting also. But Peter Bunting also.
Perry, I'm going to drop, but I want to make a final statement. I'm going to make a final statement. Perry, when I was growing up, I always used to hear the statement, this is PNP country. Because they created...
Blessing, here, look more. Alright, yeah, man, blessing, yeah, man.
When I was growing up, you never born yet. I always used to hear this statement, because this was a PNP country. Because their tentacles were everywhere. Yeah? And them always used to say them only lend it to the JLP. And I am seeing after this election where that has been proven, because my God, the election is over and PNP still has said them win it. Them's bar like blood.
PNP did not say they win the election.
Perry.
You did not.
Perry.
Russell, there is no formal release from the People's National Party where they claimed that they won the general elections in 2025.
Perry, you and I know what you are talking about, because me no make sweeping statements.
No, but you can't say that PNP did not say that.
With people everywhere all over social media. Yeah?
PNP all over social media is not the People's National Party. The People's National Party did not make any formal statements claiming that they won the general election.
Make me make my point, because even my own PNP friends who message me all the time.
PNP, Dr. Russell.
Let me rephrase it. The PNP
supporters. Dr. Russell.
The PNP supporters are of the view. They are of the view, and I always see that because they had this deep ideological idea from the 70s that everybody has bought into this idea of Michael Manley. They're failing to recognize that there's a whole new generation of people who then mother could have taught like more about Siaga or Michael Malley or Buster. They are looking around at their lives. And so the PNP had a bit of a wake-up call in my sense, because they now see that, you know what, Jamaica don't belong to anybody. There are base on both sides, but there are people who are willing to switch their votes, and this mentality and ideology. And I notice it. Look, when JLP lost election, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. The last time we lose election, we go sit down. We sit down. We sat down. The last time, every time the PNP win an election, the supporters come back and we win like them own it. They don't own. You are allowed in an election. I may explain to them the Westminster model and line them they know we win and we win. We still win the election. The Westminster model say one lose and one win. Where is that mindset coming from that you think you're supposed to win every election, even this one?
I mean, that's really up for, it's a matter of perception. I could say that persons may believe that the PNP must win because their campaign was good or their policies are better. But I think for this time around, Dr. Russell, one of the reasons why a lot of PNP supporters are of the view that the People's National Party won the general elections is because of the cloud of corruption that has been hanging over this administration for the past 2 terms. And it's just undeniable facts. You know, there's a lot of...
So Perry, when the corruption was hanging over the PNP traffic bureau and all that thing, and they won, we never go ball.
No,
we never go ball.
You never ball. You never ball.
Yeah?
You never ball. A lot of persons.
So PNP have an entitlement syndrome about them. That they are entitled. They feel that they're entitled. They're entitled to Jamaica. Jamaica belongs to them. They must always win. And this entitlement syndrome come from a far way. It comes from something that has been embedded in the system and the culture, that when JLP, when JLP lost to Mama P, we never go, you never hear we attack, or we win, don't achieve them corrupt.
Dr. Mackenzie or Mr. I'm not sure if he has a doctorate. I don't remember if he has a doctorate. You have to, Mr. Desmond Mackenzie said he will never surrender Jamaica to the PNP. That's a bit of...
That's a wait for him don't talk. I really want
that's a type of entitlement statement. That's a statement of entitlement. So again, I'm not refuting your point, but I'm just saying what you say for one, it can go for the other. So I'm of the belief that both political parties, their roots run really deep. And if a party is convinced that their political party has what it takes to win every election, it's not a major call for concern if supporters are confident that their party must win the election. What the party itself says from a formal standpoint is what I have an issue with. That's why I said the People's National Party never claimed to have won this election. Paul Buchanan, though, did further his submissions regarding his race.
So why Paul Buchanan want to challenge the Prime Minister seat, and the supporters coming out, the Prime Minister going to lose, and after October integrity, the Prime Minister have to resign, they will call new election.
Dr. Russell, if the man believes that he won the election, he has his right. We can't take people's right, you know. He has his right to challenge it. We can't frown because he's challenging it. He has his reasons why he believes that his race was stolen from him. That is his fight to fight. But let me hear from Bolo. You have a question for Dr. Russell?
I don't have a question, you know. I want to say a couple things. So
Dr. Russell soon go. But anyways, go ahead, Bolo.
Yeah, so the thing about giving somebody an opportunity, the PNP does that. And like I said, it is up to that person to maximize that opportunity. You can't say because somebody give a person land, they have no increased ghetto or poverty. That is asinine. I never heard a more asinine statement in my life. The next thing is this. The person that just came up talking about criminality. There is so much accusation levied against several key members of the Jamaica Labour Party where criminality is concerned. We are talking about taking people's life. And they are now in the cabinet. So I want you to just look at that and cut the foolishness. Give me another good reason why I support the JLP. Because we can point a lot of fingers where that is concerned. You see what I say? What was the last? What was the last point he was making a while ago?
No, he was just saying that PMP has this.
Oh, the mentality. Thank you.
Yeah.
When Anne-Marie Vaz lost her seat, all of the laborites all over Jamaica went crazy. That was such a level of entitlement. I could not believe it. A democratic process happened. She lost the seat, and they said everybody in East Portland bad mind. Till the East Portland people have to come out and say, "Yo, what are you guys talking about? We are feeling what we are feeling, and that's why we vote our out." So if you're talking about entitlement, the JLP has it. I mean, like I said, Desmond Mackenzie said, "I will not surrender Jamaica to the PMP." Warmington said, "Over my dead body." The Prime Minister said, I will not surrender Jamaica to PMPism. You want any more entitlement than that? They are the most entitled. But you know what has happened? They have lost 14 seats, and that entitlement has dwindled. They realize they don't have the power of the 2/3 that they had before, so now they have been humbled and have to go play ball with the one and only one Marky G. And I cannot wait for Parliament, because it's going to be a doozy. You understand? Big up yourself, Perry, and I'm out.
Bless you, bless his Bolo.
Perry,
Yes.
A comment was made earlier, and I want to clarify it because there are some people who don't listen. If you move 60 of the poorest, destitute, uneducated people, good people, into an area, don't give them anything at all, no services, just on the land, what you think are going to happen? What you think going to happen? Going to turn into a what this man come up and talking about asinine? If you move the poorest of the poorest people who have been trapped in poverty in an area all by themselves with no social services, it is going to turn into a ghetto.
But Dr. Russell, when PMP provided social services, you said that it increased the dependency mindset. For example, PATH, for example, the whole housing and all of that. So what exactly is it that you would have wanted PMP to do? Because with the land, coupled with the land giving, PMP instituted a lot of social programs. We're known for social programs that helps the poor, but you are of the view that these same programs increased poverty. So what exactly would you have wanted PMP to do?
I explained it to you earlier already, Perry, that the state, the role of the state is to provide people with the opportunities for them to thrive, not give out. If you give me $5,000 and me live by the seaside, me only can go buy 2 fish, we did eat and me hungry the next day. If you give me $5,000 and a little boat and a fishing net, where that do? Where that do for me?
I mean, historically though, Dr. Russell, I think it was...
Wait do for me, Perry. Wait do for me.
Education can yam. That's what Bustamante said. So if we're talking about the party who is always equipping people to do better at life, it has always been the People's National Party.
No, Perry. We need to challenge some narratives here. Which the PNP emerged out of which society? The PNP started out of the intellectual gentry. This narrative that we always have running, because both parties have catered to poor, but this party that the PNP is a part for the poor, the history of the PNP came out of the intellectual gentry. That's why they gave Mama P such a hard time. She was not in their political intellectual class. The JLP came out of the working class poor through Buster. That was the history of both parties.
Because I was about to tell you that based on my research told me that in 1938, when the PMP started, it was out of the aim to fight for the working class. It was born out of unionism, right? And the JLP was a breakoff from the PNP. So, if we're going to go as far back as 1938, it is arguable then, Dr. Russell, that the PMP was the forerunner of advocating from the poor. Yes, Michael Manley was a renowned lawyer. He was from a certain class of society. That didn't prevent him from advocating for the working class, the poor class.
Perry, so I want to ask a question, because let's look at history here. Let's say for give and take, the PNP is a party of the poor. Yeah, let's throw that one out. Which party started taxation on the poor?
That's unreasonable, though.
Okay.
Dr. Russell.
Well, we are
That's
talking facts. We are
unreasonable.
talking, you know.
That's unreasonable. Taxation is a necessary part of economic growth, and both political parties and their administrations implemented taxes.
So, Perry,
Fair for you.
I want to ask again, which party, because taxation, yes, but which party implement a tax policy that disproportionately affected the poor? It's called GCT. GCT, started by the PNP. And they
GCT
increased it to 15%, sir.
So does GCT
That they
positively
also
impact-
wanted to, they also tax uncared man sanitary napkins.
So I'm asking you, Dr. Russell, did GCT in any way help to develop this economy, Jamaica? Yes, I know.
All GCT did was to tax the poorest. That they become dependent on the state. Yeah?
No.
VAT.
Let's fact it. Let's fact it.
Perry, I'm going to give you the England side. In England, they institute VAT, the Labour Party. And when the Conservative came in and cut VAT, it means that if you go buy a shirt, you can have, when you get your pay, you can have money to buy your essential goods and services without paying a higher tax on it. And when they cut VAT, people had spending power in their pocket. The PNP instituted GCT and raised it to 15%. Angela Brownberg said, uncared man must pay a tax. They also tax sanitary pads. Yeah, Bolo, that you have an argument there. Did the JLP remove it? No. But who started it?
But Dr. Russell, that's why I'm saying it's a bit disingenuous for you to make that argument, because I said to you, both parties support GCT. So
yes,
that they started.
But Perry, we are talking about when in government, look, in policy, Perry, I don't talk about support. I talk about implementation. Who implement a policy?
Let me tell you why the GCT was implemented. First of all, GCT increases and it has contributed significantly to steady revenue source. The same GCT that it seems as if you're having a problem with, it is GCT that forms a major source of government.
Because there are other revenue sources that the Jamaican government, if my party don't do it, I will knock them, that you can get from the people, apart from disproportionately affecting the poorest, the helper, the uncared man.
I don't see poor people complaining about GCT though, Dr. Russell.
When it came out, it was big complaint. They are now sensitized to it. They are sanitized to it as a part of their lives. But when it just came out, it was a big thing. I remembered.
Like many things, when it just started, though, Dr. Russell, come on, Dr. Russell. Like many things, when it's just started, it's left up for criticism.
Okay, I'm going to ask another question then.
So
Perry,
what's the argument though? Because when it just started, yes, oh, you're taxing the poor, but it's these same GCTs that is actually helping the economy to be stable now, and they're slowing in terms of taxation.
Okay, Perry, we'll just go ask another question again. Because we deal with implementation. Okay, so PNP, the narrative said PNP is a party of the poor.
Thank God they implemented it, Dr. Russell.
Can you tell me? No, Perry, that's a social ideological position.
Are we benefiting
tax
from
on the poor? Perry, tax on the poor is not a good economic model.
Are we benefiting from GCT today?
No, we are not, because
Why
it's a
aren't we?
circular. Perry, it's a circular firing squad. The government get taxed, but the poor still poor. It cannot work. Maggie Thatcher said in her statement about social policy, it says,
that's the wholeness to remove it then.
Perry, may I do an ideological debate here before we
Dr.
go?
Russell, yes, if you're not willing to advocate for the JLP government to remove GCT,
I wrote to the Prime Minister about that. I am a big advocate. That's what I want the GCT removed.
And how do we fund many of the things that are being funded now by GCT?
How we used to do it. Oh, Michael Manley give out so much house and land without GCT.
That you criticize,
Thank you.
and you just criticize.
But no, but at that, me just assure you, how did the government fund without GCT?
No, but you just criticize it. So why you want to talk about?
But that's what I'm telling you. You're just asking a question, rhetorical. How did the government fund before GCT?
But definitely, Dr. Russell, you made it very clear that you had a problem with how Michael Manley did it before. Hence, we have GCT to ensure that we have stable economies. We're able to fund and things
Perry.
like that.
Okay, Perry.
Rich people pay GCT.
Perry.
Rich people pay GCT.
Margaret Thatcher said, this is how Margaret Thatcher do it. She put a finger like this. It says, in a society, you cannot make a society grow if you make the poor more poor and the rich less rich. It don't work. It don't work.
According to research, when you talk about GCT, let's talk about the positives that come out of it. My God Almighty, when you talk about GCT, you're talking about the many things that we benefit from today.
Perry, I am speaking and I am having an ideology debate here, Perry. I said, you might see a house built by GCT, but GCT is a circling firing squad. It makes it, although the government is getting revenue, it makes people poorer. It makes the poor poorer, Perry. Although the government is able to build this, it makes the poor poorer. Anything that the poor has to pay, it makes them poorer.
No, but then, Dr. Russell, your ideologies are conflicting. One, you're saying that we should have a mindset to go out and work, and you condemn the land giving away.
Yes, because we must have more in our pockets to spend to inspire and aspire our families, not to pay it and become poorer to the government.
No, but I really don't see anybody complaining about GCT though. So
Perry, because we are sanitized to it, but you weren't born yet. When it came out, it was a big uproar.
Yes, like many things that are new.
But we are now sanitized to it as poor people. We accept the inevitability as poor, Perry.
No, I think
we accept the inevitability as poor.
I think the access to information has increased and persons see the necessity of having GCT. I refuse to believe that persons
let me tell you my taxation ideology. First of all, I am a low tax. I believe that income tax should be one flat low income tax. I believe that less taxation on the poor makes the poor able to aspire and achieve. Okay? I don't believe you tax the poor. I believe sources of tax should come like Abu Dhabi do it, because I lived in Dubai. Indirect taxation. So when I go, of course, it's still tax, you call it indirect. When I lived in Abu Dhabi, my pay, I earn say 14,000 a month, I get it in my hand. But if I go to the government department to do business, I have to pay a tax on that. Yeah, so taxation, I don't believe that it is the government's job to impose such heavy tax burden on the poor. It makes them poorer.
Well, advocate to your wholeness-led administration to remove it, because there are also more problems with it.
Also, can I ask another question, Perry? Because we are talking here. Let's say, for argument's sake, because I always hear the PNP say it, we're a party of the poor. Can you tell me under which administration had the largest tax package in their budget for the poor?
You're older than me, tell me no.
You know it. You know it.
Me young bud no know Storm.
I tell you. Look here. Which party in their budget presentation came to the people and implemented the biggest taxation package on the poor?
You're gonna say PMP.
Bolo, stop your nonsense about the JLP. That's a lie.
Listen,
that's a lie.
Yeah, you're going to say PMP. Yes, continue.
It's factual. We're talking about it's in the record. Ada Peter Phillips, it's in the record. after them do the run with it, statement is in the record. They
have
gave
to extend.
Jamaica
You have
the
to extend.
largest tax
Why?
package.
Why?
Yes.
Why?
Perry. So what I'm asking you, was that a policy for the no Perry? What I want to ask you, was that a policy for the poor?
But
Yes or
Dr.
no?
Russell, it's a bit disingenuous for you to just leave it there. I don't think that's a conversation where you can put a full stop at. You have to put context to conversation. Why did that happen?
Can them run with it in the election?
No, that's not
they
enough.
spent
You are
money.
my good friend. You are my good friend, Dr.
Bolo.
You're a very intelligent man.
Perry,
Don't
you're
full
too
stop
young
me.
for the run with it statement. Omar Davis says run with it. They spent the coffers till they were blue.
No. Right, let me add
He
something.
said run with it.
All right.
Yeah?
For those who are just joining, we're having a conversation tonight. Why do you support the JLP? Remember that this week was the swearing-in ceremony for Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness and his administration. We saw the MPs being sworn in, and I think this is still a relevant conversation to have. And I'm just asking some of my JLP friends just to tell me, why do they support the JLP? As you recognize, it's a very respectful conversation. If I add you, please remain respectful. No bad vibe, no toxicity. I'm going to be adding some other persons. Dr. Russell is here with us.
All right, Perry.
Yes, man. Blessings, Doc. Here we have who is this? Nathaniel. Blessings, man. Why do you support the JLP?
Well, I want to start. And Jamaican illness presided over the lowest inflation rate the country ever see. And Jamaican illness presided over the lowest unemployment rate the country ever see. And Jamaican illness presided over the lowest crime rate the country ever see.
You're finished? Nathaniel, you're finished?
I can't go further. No, tell me about no context, Bolo. No, about no context. Context, no, in this.
Perry, can you context
what Andrew Michael presided over.
Oh, hold on, Nathaniel. What you say, Dr. Russell? Hold on, Nathaniel. What you say, Dr. Russell?
Can you contest those facts just presented? Lowest inflation, lowest
unemployment rate never done underneath the PP. Under no previous PMP government.
When him finish?
Little unemployment went down. None.
When him finish?
lowest poverty rate.
We just have a new quarter underneath Andrew Michael illness with no new taxes to the backs of the Jamaican people.
What do you mean by no new tax?
No new taxes added to the backs of the Jamaican people.
Alright, do you believe that no new tax is
Andrew Michael illness presided just last month. Andrew Michael owns and Jamaican people that he has cut the GCT on the JPS bill from 15% to 7%. No other government has done that. It is the first time in Jamaica's history a government can give you like a tax return. Andrew Michael illness to that.
Alright, so Nathaniel, do you believe that no new tax?
These are reasons why I support Andrew Michael illness.
Alright.
And if I can support a government that can bring crime under control, I can sleep with my doors and room open.
Perry, you don't know
I can sleep with my door them open and half a bed. Why should I change that government?
Nathaniel, hold on.
Why should I change that government?
Nathaniel, you have to allow me to respond to you as well. Nathaniel, not because you can leave your door open means that every Jamaican can leave their open. That's one. Two, not because you guys run with this thing to say no new tax, but tax has been taxing us indirectly As a matter of fact, there has been increased taxes. So the argument to say no new tax is just a nice thing to say.
Perry, you do know economic 101 that the more people employ, the more tax the government.
Dr. Russell, hold on. Perry, I want you to tell me one tax that the Prime Minister has increased. Tell me one tax that the Prime Minister has increased.
I am not refuting that, Nathaniel. I'm saying that more taxes.
No, you said you just got a statement. The Prime Minister increased Perry. I mean, ask if you tell me one.
Wait, Nathaniel, wait, Perry.
You don't have
Perry.
Refute me, brother. Just answer me question. Tell me one.
Wait, Perry.
I need
Bolo made
tell me one. Answer me question. Tell me one.
Nathaniel.
Perry, Bolo made a comment.
You just tell him and increase it. I mean, ask if you tell me one. Tell me one.
Nathaniel, you don't have to shout. We're not shouting.
No, don't have to.
You realize how me and Dr. Russell reason? We reason. I'm saying to you, I agree when you said that no, you're not. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying I understand your point of new taxes, but I'm saying more taxes have been increased, collected. And Dr. Russell,
I ask you to tell me one. That's what I ask you. Tell me one. Just tell me one, Perry. You say increase, please to tell me one. That's what I ask you for.
You didn't say increase, Nathaniel.
Tell me one. I mean, not one stop until you tell me one. Tell me one. You claim say increase it. Tell me one. That me ask you. Why you can't answer that simple question? Tell me one. That me ask you, sir.
Dr. Russell, you want to help
Okay,
me?
in economics 101, and that's why all countries try to grow the economy. The more people you have working, is the more revenue the government will get. So the JLP has not instituted in their budget any new taxes, but they have been cleverly able to get more revenue because more people are working. Yeah, more people are not living off state aid. The more people you have on state benefit, the less tax you have to collect, and the more tax you have to raise. It's economic. That's why I can't prescribe to the PNP philosophy. It's economic 101. The less people are working and relying on government, is the more you have to raise tax to get revenue.
So more taxes were collected. That's all I wanted to.
Yeah, because more people are working. Yeah.
There is no evidence can be proven that under no PMP administration that the poorer class of Jamaica benefit. Not one PMP administration, and you cannot point to me that the poorer class of Jamaica benefit under any PMP administration.
Of course, that's a record.
Not one PMP administration that the poorer class of Jamaica benefit.
That's not true. That's his.
And not one. Not one.
That
Perry, can I ask you a question?
Put in for benefit the poor class of Jamaica benefited underneath from it.
Perry,
Not single one policy that the PNP put in and the PNP government the poor class of Jamaica benefited from.
Mute him there, Perry. Let's go back to the poor debate. Let's go back to the poor debate.
And Nathaniel doing a lot of shouting. Jesus.
Let's go back to the poor debate. Perry,
yes.
Let us say I come up and you convince me that PNP is a party of the poor. Can you then tell me which party has instituted, because we talk about implementation, we not talk about which party carry on. I always start with implementation. Which party has given the poorer class the more minimum wage in the history of Jamaica? The PNP had it here for you.
You're going to say that Andrew Holness plans to increase minimum wage?
Not even the last plan. We're talking about the last one historically. Which party has increased minimum wage in real time? Context
matters.
Context, man.
Right. Perry, I know the context that you're going to come with, and I'm going to give you a context. In America, Perry, in America, Perry,
allow Dr. Russell to finish now, please.
Perry, yeah. Bolo and you say, and I know the context you're going to talk about, I'm going to give you precedents. In England and America, inflation has risen over the last 10 years dramatically, and America minimum wage has still not risen. The government has made the decision not to raise minimum wage even though prices have risen. So Andrew only state that he has made to increase minimum wage. I say because inflation. Other countries don't do it. Not even the Caribbean in Bahamas right now. Bahamas, they get so much tourism revenue. Their GDP is much higher than Jamaica. And Bahamas election, they're not one of their debate is minimum wage. They have not increased minimum wage in over 20 years in the Bahamas. But the JLP has increased substantially minimum wage on the poorest of people, not the PNP. And okay, Bolo said he was forced to. So when he raised it last time, the PNP, everybody came out lockstep barrel say it a gonna mash up the economy. Poor people don't forget to increase to 18,000.
All right, Dr. Russell. Let context matters. Let's start from the beginning of things. Now the people.
Wait, Perry, did you oppose the increase?
The increase to minimum wage? I wouldn't oppose increase in minimum wage.
Because the PNP opposed it. They opposed it.
Why would I oppose? That's my personal view. I don't believe in opposing minimum wage. But my thing though, context really matters because first of all, PNP came up with minimum wage. Let us agree on that. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
So the People's National Party officially introduced minimum wage in 1975. You mentioned about implementation, Dr. Russell. Again,
yes.
The PNP continues to prove that they are always for the poorer class. Here is the PNP introducing minimum wage. So I understand you saying...
Yes, Perry.
Hold on, Dr. Russell, let us finish my point. I'm saying, I understand you now saying, oh, JLP increase minimum wage. But a PNP come up with the very concept which based on your argument of implementation, the People's National Party continues to prove over and over based on history that they have always...
And did it benefit the poor? Did it benefit the poor?
Of course minimum wage benefited the poor. What do you mean? What do you mean? Of course minimum wage benefit. That's what minimum wage, the concept of minimum wage had to basically no. But guys, I don't know. Your voice, your thing is echoing, Nathaniel. Guys, I have my information right here.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very important to fact check on this platform. Not gonna be like some other live streams where they go live and they chat all kind of nonsense. I don't know everything in this world, so I'm going to you let it be known that Perry is known for his research. Yes,
that's true. Yes. And Perry, even with the largest taxation package and that the PNP did, they failed over time to improve the minimum wage in line with inflation and the people's spending power. Why did they hesitate to do that? Although they were asking for more taxes.
No, but the thing though, Dr. Russell, and that's I think Bolo is saying context, because we know the issues that were happening at the time. Listen, you cannot just jump up and increase things like that. You understand what I'm saying?
No, Bolo, but no issue that took place at the time, Bolo. No, there was no issue at that time. No issue at that.
But then the PNP was arguing.
When the PNP was arguing that the parliament and look for the Jamaican people and tell them they have a shortfall in the budget with $6 billion Jamaican dollars and you have to come for a new taxes. There was no issue at that time. More than then take the money go run political campaign with them and do their when they can't find it, they turn to the poor. They take it back from the poor. Simple like that. That's how the PNP known for.
All I'll say though, Dr. Russell, on the point of minimum wage, I will take
that is what them known for.
I'll take
history carry you through. That is what they
take the opportunity
and then can't move it. And nobody can not try. You can't do right history. That is what they known for. Tax support.
The People's National Party.
Tax in the poor.
Alright, come, we can't talk. I will take the opportunity to congratulate the People's National Party on conceptualizing the minimum wage, because they saw the need that persons who may not have been as qualified as other workers in certain other fields, they conceptualize minimum wage. And I'm thanking the Jamaica Labour Party that they have plans to increase the minimum wage. I'm for it. But let us give credit where credit is due. All this argument about minimum wage. It's
that it was not said that we are going to show you now, Perry. If the PNP very really care about the poor, if the PNP then I raise minimum wage, the minimum wage don't actually over party to $1 today. If they did raise it and really care about the poor and the well-being of the poor part of Jamaica,
so Nathaniel,
the one being over party to today. So Prime Minister wouldn't have to be up there moving to go to 30,000.
So you're saying that
the Prime Minister wouldn't need that plug.
So the PNP has done nothing for poor people.
There is no policy where the PNP has put that benefit the poor part of Jamaica. Not one. Not one single one.
That's
not one.
Dr. Russell will decide.
Not one. And I want to challenge the people. And show me one policy where the PNP put in it.
Dr. Russell will disagree with you. Dr. Russell will disagree with you. That is incorrect, and that's a tribalist thinking. For you,
yes. Find to me one policy where the PNP put in it benefit the poor.
Several. I can tell. No, Doctor. Because if I say to you, not gonna say my bias. Doctors, you tell me two things that PNP did for poor people. I mentioned minimum wage.
Both parties in their inception have always created policy to look out for the less fortunate in Jamaica.
Come on.
The reason why I made my statement earlier, why I support the JLP, is that the JLP, I believe, have advanced the agenda of the working class and the poor faster than the PNP has ever done in their longest time. Just to think of how long the PNP has been in power, that the JLP, especially Andrew Holness, have accelerated Jamaica's progress faster than any other administration both PNP have ever done. And also, mind you, it was the PNP, Bolo, who said this, and I quote, I was alive when I hear him say it out of his mouth. He said, this government has presided over the largest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich. Perry, you remember who said that?
Go again? What?
You remember who said that, Perry?
Go again. What you say? Quote again.
He said, this government has presided over the largest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich since universal adult suffrage.
Dr. Russell, you see, every time I hear this argument, listen.
Perry, who said that, Perry?
Dr. Russell, there is a report on FinSac. I am asking publicly for the government of Jamaica to release the FinSac report. Every time we have FinSac conversations, I get livid. And I'm saying, if there were millions of dollars spent on compiling a report on FinSac, don't have the report under your mattress or under the carpet. Release the report if their report was done and if the investigation was completed. I cannot comment on anything regarding FinSac because there's a report here. Nathaniel, release the report. Release the report. Release the report.
Perry, I'm just going to say. Wait, Nathaniel, wait.
Hold on. Stop the Dr. Russell. Dr. Russell, stop. Up to the night of the debate, Dr. Christie, I thought that was instrumental in getting Peter Bunting to admit some benefit out of the backs of the Jamaican people.
Nathaniel, we strain again. Perry.
Peter Bunting to admit it. In benefit out of the backs of the Jamaican people.
Perry, I raise a point for us to have a debate. Ronald Thwaites, one of the most prominent PNP members of Parliament. Ronald Thwaites stood up in Parliament and he said this government has presided over the largest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich since universal adult suffrage. It was a PNP man who said that. And you say?
Then Dr. Russell, you say it and I'm not refuting that. All I'm saying, the report is there. Release the report because man can't say anything. I'm asking for the report to be released. I find it very disingenuous for us to try and conceptualize
It's all because we too fatty over the country. So you want to tell me, say Misha, Louis and the whole of them will lose them belongings under the hands of Mark Jefferson Golin, Peter Bunting, Christian and Percival Noel James Pattinson. You want to come to all of those parties will go under the ground because of Mark Jefferson Golin and Peter Bunting and Percival Noel James Pattinson. You want to take all of those people because of those people. You want to come look into those people here today and talk about and come and talk nonsense, brother.
Just release release the report.
You don't need the report. You don't need none. The evidence is there. Need no report.
So we don't need any report. Then how am I supposed to believe whether or not one man benefited more from things that
Perry, I'm going to say something nice about the
PNP. Perry. When you want that man to go and deal with a report with the man already done, go through this struggle and leave it already. When you don't carry
in politics, you always need, in multi-party politics, you need two contrasting parties.
Yes.
And we had that in the 70s. We had Michael Manley, and we know he was a clear-cut socialist. And we had JLP NCAG, and we know he was a clear-cut capitalist. And people were able to make a choice. I think the PNP need to find their way back. They are a lost party. They muddied the waters in the 70s and they don't know where they are. You still have Crawford and other people who are hardcore socialists, and you have other people who are capital. What are they? We know that the JLP is straight down capitalist, macro capitalist party.
Which
the
is
PNP,
not good.
who are you?
Which is not
who are
for
you,
this
PNP?
context.
No Perry.
Which is not
Perry,
for this context.
No Perry. In multi-party system, you have two parties in America, Republican and Democrat. You know who they are. Who is the PNP?
No, we know who the PNP is.
We don't know, Perry.
I know.
We don't know.
I think Jamaica on a whole is still operating under the Manley ideologies. Whether we want to agree with it, yes or
no. Perry.
Of course.
Perry, the 90s was not Manley. Perry, the 90s was not Manley.
Cuba is operating under Manley today. When the outed and the right them up, Cuba operates under.
No.
Cuba operates under Manley ideology. I will want to call it. Cuba operates under the same ideology with Manley have. The same regime. It was never for Edward that year that would be like Cuba today. We don't know electricity and all of those things.
Perry, remember, I know, you're too young again. When Michael Manley won in 1989, he came out and he said, I have a party. That's not my belief anymore.
About himself and Cuba. That was my Manley was about himself and Cuba, not the people of Jamaica. So don't get it twisted. Manley was about Cuba and himself, not the Jamaican people.
Every JLP sound like this, I am calm.
No, maybe not over JLP. He's just passionate. Maybe not over PNP.
No, I am passionate and I'm not shouting. There is no proof to suggest that Jamaica would have been like a modern day Cuba. I reject that statement. There is no proof to suggest it. I rubbish that notion.
Those cities where the evidence is there, you cannot move it and you
based on the fact.
You cannot rewrite history. Michael Manley was a communist.
Perry.
And was pushing the communist agenda that by Cuba has suffered today. And if we never stop Michael Manley, would have been like Cuba today. And that is a fact.
Perry, it would have based on the fact that every communist regime in our neighborhood, America has crushed them to nothing. So if Jamaica was continuing on that path, we would have been like that. Because America don't take hostages. America don't play about. They went into Grenada and assassinate Maurice Bishop. America don't want
the country's economy when he went and liberalized it.
America would have been unrecognizable.
Don't do it. But he never listen to himself and do as him like. He never really care about the Jamaican. He didn't care about himself.
Communist government is in Venezuela right now. Any communist government in America's neighborhood is crushed. It is not allowed. So we would have been a worse off place
It's
like Cuba.
Dr. Russell, I cannot take. I I respect.
Perry, Perry, come on, man. Perry,
No.
question. You think America would have sit down and make we flourish like that? Perry,
That's why they sent Siaga to come and destabilize.
Honest now, Perry. Huh?
That's why
Siaga go destabilize the country. Right. Michael man they destabilize the economy of the dollar.
If we're gonna talk about we talk about CIA operative, we can say Peter Phillips was also outed as a FBI operative. Hello?
I don't want us to deflect. I don't like when we have conversations like this. It is factual that Siaga had an agenda.
That is a lie. No, go so lie. Where's the evidence? Where is the evidence?
Nathaniel, go and read, no man. Just read.
No. You can't get. No, you have to provide the evidence. No,
But it
cannot provide that evidence. You have no factual information to that. That is a lie and pit of hell. Michael Manley was the one who destabilized the country's economy and the dollar. So nobody come feel like you cannot twist history, no, my brother.
Jamaica,
You can't rewrite history. You cannot rewrite it.
Nathaniel, we have.
You can't rewrite. You can't do all the damage with Michael.
Nathaniel, CIA reports are there. Just go and take up something. And
Perry. Perry.
We have I have evidence. Where Peter Phillips and the others were planning to assassinate Michael Joshua Manley.
Alright,
We have the evidence of that document. So no come talk rubbish.
Oh, Nathaniel, wait. Perry, can I just add a bit of context onto that someone who studies
So no come talk no rubbish, brother.
Nathaniel, relax. No,
They
man.
don't feel like the Michael Manley Ben Butch body. All he only one get dying. That whole body was for the Jamaican people. That was about himself and Fidel Castro. What about Jamaica to Michael Manley? What himself and Fidel Castro.
Nathaniel,
Fidel Castro said, you rather go to the mountain back.
Perry,
guys,
I was just going to say that we must run with that propaganda because Henry Kissinger, those of you must take the time to study. During Henry Kissinger as foreign secretary in the 70s and 80s, the CIA destabilized every single geopolitical country from Vietnam to all. You forget about the Sandinistas, Ronald Reagan government in the 80s.
I'm not denying.
So we must come with that. They have destabilized every single country.
Yes, but the fact is they did to Jamaica and they used Siaga to do so.
They did not. They did not. That is a PNP propaganda.
It's not what you know. You know, persons love to throw around this word called propaganda.
It is
using, and it has been used very loosely in this election.
It is.
Let us define propaganda because I don't like that word when facts are
the reason why I said it is because the PNP have a machinery where they run with certain things and they tell their people over and over and they believe it to be true.
Just like how persons are running with the notion that PNP is not good facilitators or stewards of the Jamaica's economy. That is propaganda. We have had some of the best economies under PNP government, and that is not a lie. Yet your administration, Dr. Russell, hammers home the notion that PNP are reckless and we are a flip-flop. But that is propaganda. That is propaganda. But let us define the word propaganda. Let us define the word, because we love to run around with this word, and I don't like when people use this word so loose.
Perry, may I give you some inside information here? I'm gonna tell you already, more found out. My mother tell me a story. Up at Osemarty School, you have 3 men: Tony Spalding, DK Duncan, and when the man who was a Garveyite, his name soon come to me. Those 3, because my mother told me Michael Manley was a reluctant socialist. That's why I see in 89 when he came back, he said, I'm no longer that part. 3 men in the PNP wanted to overthrow and start a radical socialist communism project. They were over at Osemarty School planning the revolt. DK Duncan, Tony Spalding, and God, the next man name in my head. those three, Trevor Monroe, those three men were planning an all-out revolt to overthrow the government.
Trevor Monroe was never
Michael Manley government at the time to accelerate a fast communist regime.
Guys, I'm adding some more labor rights. I don't know
was that true or not?
I don't
want to hear that from my mother mouth who was a PMP.
Dr. Russell, can I say something to you, please?
Dudley Thompson name.
Dr. Russell, you have to bully from night. I mean, need to adjust a few of them.
Fear.
Chairman was not a PMP. Chairman was a double PJ, Workers' Party of Jamaica. Chairman was never a PMP. Let me tell you something. Maybe I just upon something where you say PMP don't do nothing for poor, and we can't tell you nothing what PMP do for poor.
No, I never say that. It's people come and say that. No.
Please.
No, wait. You have to backtrack up. Me and Perry have been here. I have never said that.
You were here, say that, but you never mentioned anything. But Perry asked you, Perry asked you, never mentioned one thing. Person name two, and you couldn't name two.
Because the other guy was shouting. I said, sir, I said both parties have started with their help, but I believe that the JLP accelerated the progress faster. That's what I said.
Dr. Russell, listen, Dr. Russell. I'm going to ask you these questions. Name me two policies where the JLP put in power since 1944 or 1962 that benefited the poor. That's two. Name two.
Oh, I can think of a long list. Come on, literacy program.
Foolishness that. Garbage.
What do you mean garbage?
Garbage. Wait, define literacy program. Define it.
You know, look.
You're a doctor, you know. Listen, my grade 9, I stop go school, you know. Listen me. You're a PhD.
Me now go debate because I see
listen me now.
I am not going to debate with you because I came to Perry and I said it to him. You probably weren't here.
Sir.
One at a time, guys. Remember,
sir, you were here. Me ask you two questions. Name me two policies that the Jamaica Labour Party that you said did more for the poor implement that benefit the poor in Jamaica. Just two. 1, 2.
Oh, you mean the art program now benefit the poor?
Art program, listen, the art program.
The art program NIS not benefit the poor and the pension.
Wait, man, let me explain something, you know. The art program is an amalgamation of youth service and all that.
That's a propaganda. I mean, commander,
I am saying to you, name me, listen, man, name me two policies that the Jamaica Labour Party implement that benefit the masses. Something like as impactful like the NHT. Something like impactful. Listen, my brother. Listen, my brother. Answer the question. Something that is impactful like land lease. Something that is impactful as equal work for equal pay. Something as impactful as the maternity leave with pay. Just name it two of them something there. With a PMP policy, me just you know. More you name it two. You there said the jail do more for the poor.
How has the National Insurance Service benefited the poor, sir? It has, hasn't it? It hasn't it?
NIS, yes, one.
To be honest, hold on, okay. Hugh, before you continue, you asked Dr. Russell to name you two influential and impactful policies that has affected the poor people that has been instituted by the Jamaica Labour Party. I want to learn. I don't know everything. So
student loan heart, NIS.
Wait, Dr. Russell. Why was student loan implemented? It was implemented because Edward Sear cut out the free education that was benefiting the poor.
Again, when you come to the PNP, because I've heard you.
Dr. Russell, can I finish, please? Dr. Russell, can I finish, please?
Perry, anytime the PNP asks this question and you give them what the JLP, they say no, it's not no program at PNP.
Dr. Russell, allow me to finish, please.
You can name me two programs.
Dr. Russell, man. Yeah? Dr. Russell, wait no more, Dr. Russell, man. Free education was a policy that benefit the poor, and Edward Sear cut it out and put in cost sharing and student loan. Student loan coming to being because of the free, they abolish the free education. General, listen what I say now. Listen what I say. You were on here tonight to talk a lot of things. Yes, run with it. The Jamaica Labour Party is the only party that carry 4 tax package to the Jamaican people in 1 year. 1989, 2009. Only party, I'm going to tell you one next thing again too. The first time GCT and electricity was put in place 2009 by the Jamaica Labour Party. 2016, let me finish please. Let me finish,
who introduced free healthcare?
Let me finish please. Can I allow
who introduced free healthcare?
I'm fact checking everybody, you know.
Who introduced free healthcare in public hospitals?
Dr. Russell, let me ask you a question again because Perry is a young man on them. More you name me 2 impactful programs like, listen what me I say, like the National Housing Trust. Listen me again. Free education. Listen me again. Listen me again.
National Insurance Scheme. Hard trust.
Can I finish? Can I finish, please? Can I finish? Let me finish now, please.
Free healthcare was introduced by Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller.
First. And then Bruce going to move it from.
So when you talk about free healthcare, Dr. Russell and his Portia start that.
We know Perry. You know when I tried to Perry? Because he was here a long time. I'm listening again, Perry, because as a young Samuel, I'm here to educate the young people. I want Dr. Russell to name me 2 impactful programs that benefit the masses. I'm going to name 10 of them by the PMP and name me just 2. Now start by saying, listen me, common entrance.